So we're here at the Barbara and Thomas Warick Residence from 1958 by architect Calvin Straub, who was a professor at SC and many people call the father of post and beam architecture in the mid-century in Southern California.
Yeah, I liked your story about the three of them and the teacher joined up with students. What was the full story that you were telling?
Yep, Buff, Straub, and Hensman. So Buff and Hensman were the students. Straub was the teacher. This is the teacher alone. I don't believe Buff and Hensman were involved in this. Mm-hmm. This is just Straub. And what I love about this is that you see the history of the Japanese influence on modernism, craftsmen like the Gamble House and Green in Pasadena. This is also in Pasadena. And then the distinctive post and beam mid-century modern style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has, experientially, it has a really big impact. As soon as you enter into the door, you get met with this double height space and view of the exterior, which makes the space feels a lot better. I'm guessing that this little living room here is maybe 500 square feet, but because the space is so tall and you've got all of this glazing, it makes the space feel so much bigger.
It's that quintessential connection with the outdoors. You know, every room faces out to an outdoor patio or deck. And so there's that blurred line between indoors and outdoors that does make it feel bigger. I mean, it's a 1,700 and some square foot house that feels like a 3,000 square foot house because of these outdoor areas.
Yeah. And somebody made a comment in here. Can you imagine being here when it was raining? I mean,
oh, man.
It would just be so serene and remarkable.
With a nice little fire burning in the fireplace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know, on the outside, I love the way the beams project beyond the edge of the roof line, particularly that fascia and these main girders. And so there's this, you know, it's not Lincoln logs, but the constructive aspect of the structure is really expressed by the architect. You know, anybody else would have cut those back at the fascia line, but there's kind of a gesture toward beyond that I think those elements point to.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're familiar, but architectural sketches their lines seem to go past those 90 degree mark. And it's almost like the beams are doing that.
That's exactly right. And it's just, it creates a much different look to have that continuation than ending it at the 90 degree point. And so this whole house is built like a piece of furniture. You know, the wood posts and beams are expressed at the micro or macro level. And then at the micro level, you've got the guardrail and the inner elements that also have that kind of joinery expressed. It's all about the expression of the woodwork and the structure and the joinery.
Mm-hmm. In terms of organization, you come in and you're met with the public spaces. You've got a little office up here, and then you've got the dining and living out here. But in the back is where the bedrooms are, and it kind of keeps it nice and safe back there. And so if you had guests, you could just take them to the public spaces and they wouldn't even know where the bedrooms are.
True. You got the two secondary bedrooms kind of hidden away down on the lower level. And then the primary bedroom upstairs opens right into the 2-story living room, dining room, kitchen area.
Oh, that's right.
Which is really wonderful.
That's right. This bedroom here, are we considering that the primary?
Yep. Oh, that is the primary for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd get any sleep up there if there was a conversation happening down below.
It's true. They've got a curtain that you can draw, but it's not going to be soundproof. So. Yeah. Yeah. But it's essentially in original condition. The new owners, this sold 3 years ago. The new owners put in a tight grain cork floor, which I think is a really nice improvement over the bigger grain cork floor that was here before. But all the original cabinetry with the knife edge or the knife hinge and the incredible integral stainless countertop, you know, brake metal stainless and original appliances. The stove and cooktop are all original.
Yeah. And this one's a little different. This is a mid-century. A lot of people ask, can you put an elevator in the space or in the home? And this one actually did it. And it feels like they did it quite well.
I mean, I saw this house 3 years ago and I didn't even know there was an elevator. And when I look at it now, the elevator's actually in this element. And what I like about the way they did that is that they didn't continue this paneling and make this volume larger. They allowed this L-shaped form and the chimney to remain visible. And then this was painted black to kind of recede into the background. But the elevator drops out onto the exterior here, into a closet here, and it's completely invisible in the carport above. And so, a less successful intervention would have put a big clunky box right out into here, but this just completely disappears.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't mess with the exterior space, and they've got two lovely exterior spaces. One out on this, coming out of the dining room, but then you've got one coming out of the kitchen as well. So you've got these two exterior outdoor spaces that relate completely to the space.
And it's like a feeding frenzy out here. It's kind of fun. It was a reunion of all the architectural real estate nerds. And we were joking that let's all get together and pool our resources and do like an architectural timeshare out here. You can have it next weekend. Marcus can have it the weekend after that.
Yeah.
I'd like it for Thanksgiving if that's okay. And we'll all be able to enjoy the space over time.
Well, I'm Mark, and this is Brian with The Value of Architecture.
And this is another example of the value of architecture. Really, this house is $3 million, and I have a feeling it'll probably be under contract by this weekend.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.